Hello students, I am Professor Dr. V.K. Sawant. Today we are going to discuss remaining part of the previous lecture. So we are concerned with incomes exempted from tax. We discussed previously there are 21 incomes which are totally exempt from tax. It is also called as excluded income from tax. Tax-free incomes. It is also known as tax-free incomes. Tax-free incomes, excluded incomes, exempted incomes mean income not to be included in total income of an SEC and not to be charged separately for tax purpose. Therefore, we consider regarding those incomes which are exempted from tax. See 27, sorry 22. Awards and rewards for literature, scientific work and acting performance for pro proficiency in sports and games by the central government or state government or approved by the central government. It means that any kind of awards and rewards which have monetary effect, so we may call it the price of reward is rupees 10 lakh, for example 5 lakh. Though this is income, it is excluded from tax because it is creative work, different work. That work is very useful to the society. That's why any kind of awards and rewards for literature, scientific work and acting performance which is approved by the central government or state government or which is given by central government, state government or any approved by the central government. Next, an income of approved sports association established in India to control, supervise or encourage the games of cricket, hockey, football, tennis and other games or sports approved by the central government in this block. So, approved sports associations income is exempt from tax. Any income of news agency set up in India solely for collection and distribution of news as central government may notify in this block is totally exempt. So news agency which is concerned with collection and distribution of news, the income of that news agency is exempt from tax, but it is necessary that should be approved by the or notified by the central government. Any income received by a person on behalf of any regimental fund or non-public fund established by armed forces of the Union for the welfare of past and present members of such forces or their dependents shall be exempt from tax. Generally, certain funds are created for welfare of particular group. Therefore, regimental fund is established for the welfare of past and present armed force members, and any amount received from that fund or non-public fund established by armed forces is exempt from tax. Any income received by any person on behalf of a notified fund which is approved by Commissioner of Income Tax for the welfare of employees or their dependents, and of which fund such employees are members, shall be exempt. There are certain notified funds that approved by Commissioner of Income Tax, and amount received to any person or dependents of that person is exempt from tax. It means that no tax has been levied on any income received to a person or their dependent through this fund. Any income of a fund set up by Life Insurance Corporation of India under a pension scheme to which contribution is made by any person for the purpose of receiving pension from such fund and which is approved by the control of insurance is exempt. We know that life insurance company is the important in the sector of life insurance, but by considering changing circumstances, market demand and a need of ours, presently life insurance company has designed or developed various pension schemes, and therefore any income received to any person because of contribution made by him for the purpose of receiving pension and amount received or income received from that fund, that is pension fund set up by life insurance, is exempt from tax. Income of institution for development of khadi and village industries. We know that India is a rural country. Most of population living in rural area. So in order to develop rural various rural parts, the government is encouraging to development of khadi and village industry. So income of such institutions is exempt from tax. Any income of European Economic Community derived in India by way of interest, dividends, capital gains from investment under a scheme notified by the central government is exempt. Income received in the form of interest, dividend, capital gains in India from European Economic Community is exempt from tax. Any income of SARC fund for the regional projects set up by the governments of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. That is the long form of SARC. SARC means South Asian Association for Regional Corporation. That association is giving fund for regional projects that are set up by the governments. The governments means the, the countries covered under SARC, and any income of SARC fund is exempt from tax. Income of Central Electricity Regulatory Commission is exempt. We know that in India there is a Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. The income of that commission is exempt. Then 32, that is very important. Any income received by a person on behalf of the following funds is exempt. Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. It means that any financial assistance received to any member because of victim, natural, man-made disasters. So, any amount received to any affected person from Prime Minister National Relief Fund. Presently, we know that flood has sustained various losses. So, our Prime Minister declared relief. Relief means assistance, financial assistance to victim affected persons. So, presently flood occurred in western Maharashtra, and the central government has declared relief of rupees 5 lakh. That amount received to affected person rupees 5 lakh is exempt from tax. Prime Minister's Earthquake Fund. Amount received from Prime Minister's Earthquake Fund is also exempt from tax. Prime Minister's Fund, that is promotion of folk art. Amount released from it is exempt from income tax. Prime Minister's Aid to Students Fund means this fund is established for giving financial assistance to poor students. National Foundation for Communal Harmony. It means that these are the central funds, and the amount received from these funds is exempted from tax. Any income of employees, state insurance setup under the ESI Act is exempt. Employees State Insurance Fund, that is the fund created by the state government, and the insurance premium certain on the general insurance of the employees paid by state government as well as insurer, and amount received to any person or member of that fund is exempt from income tax. Income of certain funds. Any income of the following mutual funds is exempt. It means that income derived by way of mutual funds is exempt if the following conditions are fulfilled. Mutual funds registered under the Securities and Exchange Board of Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI Act 1992, or regulation made thereunder. Such other mutual funds set up by the public sector bank like State Bank of India or public financial institution like Life Insurance Corporation or mutual fund authorized by the Reserve Bank of India subject to the conditions specified by the government. From this we know that income of certain mutual funds is exempt from tax. For exemption purpose, the specific condition must be fulfilled, that is mutual fund registered under SEBI Act, such fund set up by public sector bank or a public financial institution, and that should be authorized by the Reserve Bank of India. We know that Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of our country. It regulates banking business of India. Income of registered trade unions. Trade unions are the unions formed by workmen for their own interests, especially to protect the interests of workers. Trade unions are working. They are formed for giving or receiving proper justice to workmen. This is need in order to protect workmen from exploitation that is needed. The following incomes of registered trade union, the following incomes of registered trade union are exempt from tax. We know that there are five heads of income. Income from salaries, income from house properties, profits and gains of business and profession, capital gains, income from other sources. But mostly here we are covering certain incomes received to a trade union because of activities conducted by them. Income from house property, income from other sources. It means that income derived by a trade union through letting of house property and other sources is exempt from income tax. In case of a scheduled tribe ST residing in specified areas, exemption shall be available in respect of any income which accrues or arises to him. However, members of scheduled tribe posted outside notified tribal areas are not entitled to the benefits of exemption. This condition is very important. Firstly, we see that member of ST, that is scheduled tribe, residing in specified area, that is area specified, exemption exemption shall be allowed in respect of any income arises to him, but if that member of scheduled tribe posted outside notified area, then that exemption is not allowed. In short, income of scheduled tribe person or member residing in specified area. Specified area means that is specified, and income arises within that area to a member of ST is exempt from tax. Any income of a corporation established by the central or state government for promoting the interests of the members of the minority community is exempt from income tax. Minority community means that community having less population as compared to other community. So any income from corporation established by central or state government. A corporation may be established by central government or state government. A corporation which is working for well-being of minority community, and the income of that corporation is exempt from tax. Any income of a corporation established by the central, state or provincial act for welfare and economic upliftment of ex-servicemen being citizen of India is exempt. From this information, we got idea that it's central or state or provincial act, and by applying that act, any corporation is established for welfare and economic upliftment of ex-servicemen and they are citizens of India. In that case, income of such corporation is exempt from tax. Income of cooperative society formed for promoting the interest of the members of either the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes or both shall be exempt. In short, income of cooperative society formed for the members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes is exempt from tax. For the development of particular industry, various boards are formed. See item number 40. Any income occurring or arising to copy board, rubber board, tea board, tobacco board, marine products, expert development authority or the spices board is exempt from tax. It means that income of these boards, any income of these boards is exempt from tax. Dividend received by a shareholders from a Indian or domestic company subject to on which tax is paid by the company and by the shareholders, such dividend will be exempt if received on and after 1st April 2020. In short, the dividend income of member less than rupees 10 lakh is exempt from tax, but those person receiving dividend more rupees 10 lakh, for that purpose dividend tax paid by the company as well as that shareholders, then up to this dividend income is exempt. In excess of rupees 10 lakh dividend, excess amount is included in the total income of SEC and that is taxed. In short, you may keep in mind dividend received from Indian company is exempt from tax. A shareholder transferring shares through stock exchange and paid the security transaction tax is exempt. Item number 43. Long-term capital gains on sale of equity shares or units of equity oriented mutual funds is exempt from tax if following conditions are satisfied. Shares must be sold on a recognized stock exchange. Equity oriented fund sold through the recognized stock exchange or sold to mutual fund. Hence, long-term gains on sale of equity shares or units of mutual funds is exempt from tax, subject to that shares equity oriented funds must be sold on recognized stock exchange. Last item, any income arising from e-commerce, supply or services made or provided or facilitated on or after 1st April 2021 is also exempt. In this way, we discussed 44 items, that is 44 incomes which are tax free. It means that these are the incomes on which no tax is to be levied by the central government. A question may ask in examination, explain any 10 incomes which are exempted from tax, or state incomes which are not taxable in India. Multiple choice question may be asked like amount received from Prime Minister National Relief Fund is alternatives taxable, non-taxable, partly taxable, included in total income. These are the four alternatives. The correct answer is amount received from Prime Minister National Relief Fund is tax free. So these are, we have discussed 44 incomes which are exempted from income tax. Also there are also another incomes, but I have not given here because of uh, heavy scope of that item. So this is enough. We may consider any 20 for your answer purpose. If the question asked regarding state any 20 incomes exempted from tax, so you have to mention only 20 incomes, but I have explained here 44 incomes which are not included in income of an SEC and not taxed separately. So in this way, our part of discussion incomes exempted from tax is over. I am concluding my speech here. Thank you.